Greetings and wishes from Rohini College of Engineering and Technology and myself Manoj, Assistant Professor, Mechanical Department. In this video lecture, we're going to discuss about the heat transfer through hollow cylinder and sphere. So in the previous sessions, we have discussed about the heat conduction through a plane wall and a composite wall. And in this lecture, the discussion about the polar coordinates, that is the heat conduction through a cylinder and a sphere. In case of cylinder, across the cylindrical wall, the heat transfer surface area is continually increasing or decreasing. Since the surface area for transferring the heat through the cylindrical pipe or a cylindrical element is directly proportional to its radius of the cylindrical element and the length of the pipe. So as already discussed, heat conduction follows the Fourier's law of conduction. Fourier's law say which directly proportional to the distance in case of the plane wall. But here, when we are considering the cylindrical element, we are having the dimensions as the radius and the length of the tube or pipe. Therefore, the surface area for transferring the heat through the pipe which is directly proportional to the radius and the length of the cylindrical element. We are considering the heat conduction through a cylinder as a steady state. Here we are assuming since the flow of the heat is steady, heat is lost from a hot water pipe to the outside air in the radial direction. Heat transfer from a long pipe is considered as one dimensional. As you know, because when any fluid flows through a pipe, surely it would be one dimensional, whether it may flows in x direction or y direction or else z direction only. Therefore, we are considering the heat transfer from a long pipe is one dimensional. Considering a hollow cylinder as shown in the diagram of inner radius r1 and outer radius r2 and the temperature inside surface temperature at the inside surface is T1 and the outside surface is T2. The thermal conductivity of the specific material is considered as K. So by considering the small elemental area of thickness dr by using the Fourier's law of conduction, we are deriving the conduction heat transfer through a hollow cylinder. Here at steady state condition, Fourier's law says Q conduction is equal to minus Ka dt by dr. Here we are considering the smaller elemental area as dr. Hence we have taken minus Ka dt by dr. By cross multiplying the dr in the left to the left hand side, it becomes Q conduction into dr is equal to minus Ka into dt. Now integrating all the elements to find the overall heat transfer, to find the heat flow. Since we have integrating the value of Q and integrating the value on the right hand side too. Here in the left hand side, the Q conduction into dr. Here the smaller element r has considered. Since we have taken the radius value r1 and r2. In the right hand side, there is a temperature difference dt. Hence, we are considering the upper limit and smaller limit as a temperature T1 and T2. So, by solving all those things, we are getting the formulation as Q conduction is equal to 2 pi Lk T1 minus T2 divided by ln R2 by R1, where Q conduction, the general formulation for Q conduction is equal to delta T overall divided by summation of R. The delta T represents the initial and final temperature, difference between the initial and the final temperature. The summation of R that represents total resistance offered in a specific material. Here we are considering the T2, T1 minus T2 as delta T, that is delta T overall, and the remaining, that is ln R2 by R1 divided by 2 pi Lk, or we can say 1 by 2 pi Lk ln R2 by R1 as a resistance. In case of considering the convection, so since we have studied this conduction heat transfer through a cylindrical wall, here the convection is not considered. Suppose assume a hot fluid is flowing through a pipe or a tube. The problem will consider the convection heat transfer too. So as shown in the diagram, here the hollow tube or hollow pipe is any cylindrical hollow element which is having any fluid flowing through it. So therefore, the heat is transferred through any fluid medium is said to be a convective heat transfer. Therefore, this problem or this diagram represents the convective heat transfer, considering the convective heat transfer, that is said to be T infinity 1, or else you can take TA, where the convective heat transfer taking place because the heat is transferred to the inner surface of the cylinder through the fluid medium. Therefore, it is surely the convection heat transfer. The convective heat transfer coefficient given is H1 there. And at T1 to T2, there is a pure conduction since it is a solid material or a wall or conduction. And from T2 to T infinity 2, there is a convection. The atmospheric air comes to contact with the cylindric outer surface of the cylinder and the heat transfer taken place. Since the heat is taken by the atmospheric air, that is considered as a fluid medium, therefore the convection heat transfer taking place. Therefore, the total radius R total is equal to the initial convection resistance plus at the middle the conduction resistance plus at last at the outer surface there is a convection resistance. As we know that for the conduction resistance, for the convection resistance, the formula may be of 1 by HA, as we have studied in the previous sessions. For conduction, L by Ka, and for convection, 1 by HA. Here in case we have considered the hollow cylinder, the cylindrical element. Therefore, it is considered as A is equal to pi dl, surface area. We are considering not a cross-sectional area because since the heat is transferred in the surface itself. So therefore, it is considered as surface area A is equal to pi dl or 2 pi rl. Therefore, in convection resistance 1 by HA, instead of A, just we are substituting the 2 pi r1 L that represents the initial, the inner radius of the cylinder. Plus, there is a conductive resistance, conduct L by Ka. That is here we are using the cylindrical shaped element. Therefore, ln R2 by R1 divided by 2 pi Lk plus again the convective resistance 1 by HA, that is for instead of A we are substituting 2 pi R2 into L into H2. So in case of cylinder, everything remains same except the area. Since we know the area for the cylinder, sorry, area for the sphere, 4 pi r square. Hence the Q conduction is equal to minus 4 pi by K into T2 by T1 divided by 1 by R1 minus 1 by R2 is clearly shown here. When we are considering a hollow sphere of inner radius R1 and outer radius R2 as shown in the diagram with specific thermal conductivity, the inner and outer surfaces are maintained at constant but the different temperatures of T1 as inner surface temperature and T2 as the outer surface temperature, where the radius T R1 and R2 is made of different materials. That's why we have called it as a composite sphere. Look at the diagram where it has shown that the inside radius is R1, that's outside radius is R2. So between that, the sphere having some material property as K, the thermal conductivity. In case of the sphere, the total resistance offered is same. That is, R convection is in the first and R conduction, then R convection. Therefore, the summation of R is equal to R convection plus R conduction plus R convection as shown. Here, R convection for the resistance in case of convection heat transfer, that is 1 by HA. Since instead of A, this we are substituting 4 pi R square. Here we are considering the inner radius as R1, and next the conduction R2 minus R1 divided by 4 pi R1 R2 into K plus 1 by 4 pi R square R2 square into H2. This is for convection. As you know that the surface area of the sphere is 4 pi R square. Here we are going to discuss the problem on hollow cylinder. A steel tube K is equal to 43.26 watts per meter Kelvin of 5.08 centimeter inner diameter and 7.62 centimeter outer diameter is covered with 2.5 centimeter layer of insulation. K is equal to 0.208 watts per meter Kelvin. The inside surface of the tube receives heat from a hot gas at the temperature of 316 degrees centigrade with a heat transfer coefficient of 28 watts per meter square Kelvin, while the outer surface is exposed to the ambient air at 30 degrees C with heat transfer coefficient of 17 watts per meter square Kelvin. Calculate the heat loss for 3 meter length of the tube. So before solving the problem, we need to understand the problem first. For understanding the problem as much as easier, we have to read the problem 2 or more times. And you have to illustrate the problem as a diagram. Compulsorily, in case of before solving any problem, we have to illustrate the problem as a diagram. Here the diagram shows the illustration of the problem. A steel tube. Therefore, we can assume the material, that is the shape given is a cylindrical. Since steel tube, assuming steel tube is a, not assuming, actually the steel tube is a cylindrical element. So therefore, the thermal conductivity of the steel tube is given 43.26 watts per meter Kelvin. That is considered as K1 of 5.08 centimeter inner diameter. The inner diameter given here, the inner diameter given in the tube is 5.08 centimeter. Therefore, the inner diameter in the sense, here we have converted the diameter into radius R1. Therefore, the inner radius of the steel tube is 0.0254 meters. We have to convert all the parameters into meters. Then, and 7.62 centimeter outer diameter. The outer diameter of the steel tube is 7.62 centimeter. Immediately you have to convert it into meter. Afterwards, we have to convert it into the radius by dividing with 2. R2 is equal to 0.0381 meter. Then to find the value of the insulation, here read the problem once. 7.62 centimeter outer diameter is covered with 2.5 centimeter layer of insulation. K is equal to 0.208 watts per meter Kelvin. So over the cylindrical surface, there is a insulation. The insulation has been provided with a thickness of 2.5 centimeter. Here they have given 2.5 centimeter layer of insulation. That is, the 2 centimeter represents the thickness of insulation, and the K value has given as 0.208 watts per meter Kelvin. The K value represents the thermal conductivity of the insulation material. So I have shown in that has been shown in the figure as K2. The radius is given as R3. As you know that R2 will be the radius of the outer radius of the steel pipe, and R3 be the radius of the insulation. Hence, R3 is equal to R2 plus the thickness of the insulation, which gives the radius of the insulation. So here look at R3 is equal to R2, that is the outer radius of the steel tube plus the thickness given, the thickness of insulation. So by adding these two, we will get the value of R3, that is the radius of insulation. And the insulation thermal conductivity has given as K2. The inside surface of the tube receives from a hot gas at a temperature of 316 degrees centigrade. The inner surface of the cylinder receiving heat, the inner surface of the cylinder receiving heat from the hot gas. Therefore, hot gas is a source here. The heat is transferred through the hot gas is considered as a fluid. Therefore, there is a conduction heat transfer takes place initially. Therefore, I put the value as HA, that is also given with heat transfer coefficient of 28 watts per meter square Kelvin. The heat transfer coefficient is HA because the inner surface is exposed to a hot gas, right? The gas temperature is 316 degrees centigrade, that is a temperature of convection. Gas temperature TA is equal to 316 degrees centigrade. We are converting it into Kelvin. While the other side, the outer side exposed to the ambient air, the outer surface of the insulation is exposed to the atmospheric air. The air temperature is given as TB is equal to 30 degrees centigrade. We can convert it into Kelvin. And the heat transfer coefficient H is also given. For the outer surface ambient air temperature is 30 degree and the heat transfer coefficient at the ambient is 17 watts per meter square Kelvin. And calculate the heat loss, we have to find the value of Q for the length of the tube has given L is equal to 3 meter. If the length of the tube is not given in any problem, you can consider the length is as a unit length, right? Heat loss Q you are going to found. Since you know that the overall heat transfer, that is the heat transfer coefficient, the heat transfer is equal to delta T overall, the overall temperature difference to the radius, that is the sum of the total resistance. The total resistance Q is equal to delta T overall divided by the total resistance. As you know that delta T is the initial temperature minus final temperature. So in case of this problem, the initial temperature is considered as TA and the final temperature is considered as TB, and T1 and T2 are the intermediate temperatures here for conduction. Here we have to draw the thermal network diagram for this case. Here it has been clearly shown. The first resistance is a convective resistance, that is 1 by H1 2 pi RL. And the second and third is for the conduction heat transfer. And the fourth one is for convective heat transfer, right? Hence we are writing the equation for the composite cylinder, that is R is equal to 1 by 2 pi L, that is the common, that's why we have taken outside, 1 by HA R1 plus 1 by K1 ln R2 by R1 plus 1 by K2 ln R3 by R2 plus 1 by K3 ln R4 by R3 plus the convection resistance, that is 1 by HbR4. So whatever the layers may be, we can extend the equation up to the n level. But in this problem, the K3 value is not needed because we have two different material. For one is steel tube and another one is a insulation. Therefore, we can neglect the term for K3. And also, the R for K3 is not given. Therefore, you can look at the diagram. There is a steel tube, and over the steel tube there is a insulation layer. Therefore, this fourth term is not needed. I am neglecting this term and I am rewriting the equation again. Q is equal to TA minus TB divided by 1 by 2 pi L. Here it has been shown 1 by HA into R1 plus 1 by K1 ln R2 by R1 plus 1 by K2 ln R3 by R2 plus 1 by HP R3. Here the L represents the length of the tube and HA represents the convective heat transfer coefficient at the inner side and HB the convective heat transfer coefficient at the outer side. And K1 will be the thermal conductivity of the steel tube and K2 be the thermal conductivity of the insulation layer. R1 be the radius of the inner surface and R2 be the radius of the outer surface of the steel tube, right? And R3 be the radius of insulation. So all the values are known, that is given in the problem. By substituting all the values given in the problem, you will get the Q value as 1129.42 watts. So without illustrating the problem as a diagram, and also this without drawing this thermal network diagram, the problem become complicated. We cannot solve the problem as much as easier. This is a very effective method to solve the problem very easily. In our heat and mass transfer data book itself, these problems and these formulae are available. In case whatever the layers may be, whatever the composite layers may be, it may be of 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever it may be, we can extend the equation up to the certain level, right? So without understanding the problem, without understanding or illustrating the problem, we cannot do a right way. So therefore, I'm always suggesting you people read the problem one or more times and draw the problem as a diagram and illustrate the problem as a diagram. Afterwards, you can start doing the problem. Here, by solving all those things, getting the Q value, the heat loss in the through the steel tube over the insulation layer is equal to 1129.4 watts. Thank you.